from. Welcome to another edition of Insightful Solution plus Reliable Life. The topic of today's episode is why Nigerians should follow the Obi-dent movement in 2023. Like we all know, the nation is choking. We can no longer breathe because there is shortage of air. We need to allow this nation strive. And I'm pleading with every Nigerian. More than 10 millions are already out of school, and more than 85% of the population are living in abject poverty. This nation cannot be taken for granted. Imagine this nation is a private enterprise. You are going to hire the best people to run this nation. So I'm calling out on every ordinary Nigerians. We can no longer keep quiet because this nation belongs to every one of us. We cannot be sitting on the fence. We must speak up to rescue this nation. The continent of Africa is waiting for the giant of Africa to flourish. That is why the upcoming 2023 presidential election is a make of mere. Listen, this nation cannot make a mistake of choice. Our next leader, it must be the right person we're going to be employing, a person of good character, a person of integrity. And also, as a private company, we must hire the best candidate for the job. And as I'm saying, and I'm speaking this loud and clear, the state need to hire somebody with knowledge, crisis management, skills, character, and integrity, with vision and courage to make decisions effectively, communication skills, the ability to unite the nation as a leader who can show a good treat is what we're going to be hiring in this upcoming 2023 election. Enough is enough. Nigerians, we must rise up and vote for the right candidate, and the time is now. Thank you so much, viewers. In today's episode, we have a guest in the studio with us today, and we'll go on a short commercial. And when we come back from that commercial, we will be bringing the guest in. And stay tuned, viewers, as we go on this short commercial. And when we are back from this commercial, we'll introduce our guest, and we will take it from there. Stay tuned as we go on this short commercial, and we'll be back in a short while. Thank you, viewers. Thank you so much, viewers, for staying tuned. And thank you very much. And today on the studio, we have a guest with me on the studio, and is no other person than Reverend Ikechukwu Christopher Obiaho JP. He is the National Coordinator Southeast for Presidency come 2023, C4 2023 for Peter Obi. Today on our edition of Insightful Solution plus Reliable Life. Reverend Sir, you're welcome to today's program.
Thank you very much, Donald, of Enough is Enough. And thank you for all those, our listeners today on this program.
Thank you so much. And the topic before us today is why Nigerians should follow the Obi-dent movement in 2023. Like I said before, if Nigeria is an enterprise, we need to hire the best employee to run the affair and manage the nation. So as at that, sir, I have a few questions. Why do you think Nigeria should give their mandates to Mr. Peter Obi? And also, Why do you think some of these Nigerians are still hanging on the fence? Please, if you want to throw more light, please, I want you to talk more on why you think the mandate of Nigeria should be given to Mr. Peter Obi.
Well, thank you very much, listeners and viewers too. Well, I'm coming from the background of an organization that is called Southeast for President 2023 movement, which we started on February 28th of February 2019. We were informed, we had a premonition, and we felt that we have passed through some political evolution for some time and up till 1999, but again from 1960, we felt that what causes a problem or a kind of disagreement or division in a body or in a family is when things are shared and it's not equitably, fairly, and justifiably shared. So we felt that since the nation called Nigeria came into being in 1960, and the leadership of this country had gone all through, even through the time of 35 years of military interregnum, and now from the three regions of East, West, and North, and now we have six zonal structure, even though it's not embedded in our constitution yet, but it's an acceptable formula for revenue and physical sharing of things. We felt that by the year 2023, that after President Buhari from the north had finished his tenure about 8 years, it is the turn of the Southeast zone, so that the whole thing will be equity in place, because all other 5 zones are taking leadership of this country called nation. So we started that and we kept talking. But what informed us is that it is always easy to take off power from any major political party. And we knew that the two major political parties, as it were, happened to be PDP and APC. So we in our mission, we said that we wish and work towards all the 18 political parties to zone their presidency to the southeast, just like we have done, as a matter of convenience, as a matter of circumstance, as a matter of events, developments in the polity we did in 1999 when we had Olufalaye and Olusegun Obasanjo from the west, to assuage the nerves of everybody in the west, because the whole place was volcanically charged. And also we moved into South when we put Britain in Goodluck Jonathan. We calmed down the militancy, we calmed down a lot of things. And because there is serious stiffness in the east now, because of fear and a feeling of marginalization over the years, some people came up and be talking about separatism in terms of Biafra. So we felt that, look, if you are what is good for the goose, it's also good for the gander. If this has gone round, let's stay in the southeast. So we kept thinking about it, advocating. And we now said in our ambition that all the political parties should seed their presidential candidates to the southeast, particularly the two major political parties of APC and PDP, or any other third force. So we saw ahead of time that if peradventure APC and PDP do not zone it to the southeast, which is their turn, which is equitable, then it has to, there must be a third force. And then we also emphasize that this third force is not just somebody starting a group and saying, I'm the third force, like many people have done for last year, last 2 years, even early this year. They'll start a group and say, we are the third force. Third force will evolve. And so now what is panning out is that we allow these things to happen. PDP jettisoning their constitution, APC, even by equity and what is in their logo, which is justice. The powers have been in the north and it's coming to the south, like 10 governors of the north say it must go to the south. It's supposed to come to the southeast. Now when the southwestern have become president by all the givings, by all that the Kwame did, by all the southeast did, supported under PDP, and by all the Obasanjo failing his unit up to his word, his election, and he became the president of Nigeria. Not by that, and then they had the president for 8 years. The southeast and all the parts of the country cooperated, and Osibanjo came again and took it. The southeast kept existing and staying in the component of the nation called Nigeria. And now, even if we gone to APC and the south now, they're supposed to know by justice and equity, it's supposed to come to the southeast. And what has panned out. And immediately that happened, like we envisaged, from the PDP primaries up to the time that P2OB, one of the aspirants, left this 3 days to PDP. Everybody was all looking. And immediately they waited for the next week and APC had their convention. And they jettisoned the thing. There was no justice. Ogbonnanu kept shouting and crying openly like that. God now heard the prayer because it was immediately after that APC convention that a lot number of people, Nigerians of justice, those that believe in equity, and Nigerians that believe in fairness, and particularly the Southeasterners. The Southeastern Igbo, who happens to be, apart from the Southeast of the 5 states, is the second largest populated people in every state outside the 5 Southeast states. They are the second largest population after the ethnicity. They now rose up. And when they rose up and started going, the apathy that have been developed over the years over the country, and particularly in the East, because of Biafra agitation and because of marginalization, they now sprung up and took it as a challenge. Wow. And then there was this surge for voter registration. And up till now, INEC have not been able to contend with the flood. So now P2OB came in. A Labour Party that had been there, inconsequential, not known at all, not heard of. It just moved in there. So that's something we talked about, a third force that will involve by itself, and believing that God is a God of justice, equity, and fairness. He's come and seeing the economy of Nigeria and seeing all that the APC, the government in power, have promised about security, about economic evolution, economic improvement, and a number of things in the country. Nobody has seen it. Everything is 360 degrees negative. Apart from those in APC who they have nothing to explain, now it is reality. So everybody is seeing it, and seeing also PDP, who are jettisoning their constitution, and for fear that if they could boldly jettison their constitution and whatever argument that Atiku and other in PDP are arguing, it means if we hand over power to them next year, they will also jettison our constitution. They can mess us up because if they can by everything by impunity, jettison their constitution, which is so clear, and with reckless abandon, with ignominy, they would say do the same thing. They'll be lawless. So P2OB went into labor. A labor that is obscure, somehow you will say, now blossomed. It could have been anybody. So P2OB is a child of circumstance. It could have been anybody in the East, but it's now boiling down to what we had enunciated and what we have talked about in about 3 years ago, that it will come from the South. So it's no longer, P2OB is no longer about the Southeast, even though the sun rises from the East and sets to the West. The seed that is coming for God to do the magic and do the miracle is from the same East, where Azikiwe came, and all that helped to secure us independence, either single-handedly with other people and so on. It was the cornerstone. The East, where Ekweme came and had the G18, G38, and Jerikana and G34, and formed the PDP to rescue us from the military, from the same East. So the same East is coming. It's not by accident. It's divine. It's God's factor. The same East. So Nigeria should realize that. So if you're asking me why everybody should obey it, put all these factors into place. And I want to say, yes, sir, there are 3 things that are playing out now by divine grace of God. It's not by accident. It is God, because there's God factor. 1 is the character. 2 is ethnicity. 2 is religion. You can't wish it away. Forget what people are saying. Because we are polarized over the last 7 years that APC have gone, because of nepotism and a lot of religious bigots that we have in this country and fanaticism. And every trouble we have today, the Fulani, the whatever, is lured down to a Muslim religion. No Christian has participated in all this Boko Haram, forcing people to take their religion. No Christian. It is from the same Muslim sect. If there is anything to address by this Muslim sect, if you feel it is not, you should be able to talk to your people. So now it has come in to be a religious thing, whether you like it or not, and to put fire into injury or into kerosene. Tinubu with reckless abandon, with ignominy, carelessly went and picked somebody from the north, and he went to put them on the north. He picked from the Muslim. It's been argued. So ethnicity is coming into place, and then the Christians took it as a challenge, because when you say a vice president is second, he takes instruction like this man was talking about yesterday, the minister. I was talking that the vice president has not, he takes instruction for the president. But for a point that the vice president is there in the second, just like the Southeasterners have been feeling marginalized, 17 security apparatus of this country for the past 7 years. No Southeasterner is there. That is the anger. The same thing that Christians are feeling now. You go to the north, you say you don't want anybody. There are a lot of Christians that came up from there that are still existing. You didn't want to take them in. So one, ethnicity will play into place, because People feel marginalized. People feel that they are part of this country. People feel that after 50 years of civil war, they should be given a sense of belonging, which they have never had. So why treat them with reckless abandon? Yet they are part and parcel of this country. So which is the East, which is the Igbo. So why wouldn't you give them that opportunity to do something? And somebody says, no, we are high there. The Igbos are low. What makes you think they are low? And if you have also tried, if common sense is common sense, it's common. If you have tried all the highs and we are in a state of economic quagmire, in a state of economic stagnation, economic kwashiorkor reading and sickle cell anemic, today everybody's afraid. Nobody can buy, nobody can move, nobody can do anything. Why don't you throw somebody from the low? Because they have said in the Bible, the builders, the stone that the builders have rejected has become the cornerstone. And if you relate it this way, if I'm being a little bit religiously philosophical, Peter Obi is the stone that people have rejected. People never regarded him. Ordinarily, he wouldn't have been anything. He wouldn't have done anything. Labor wouldn't have done anything. So it's not about labor. It's not about Peter Obi. It's about the evolution. The revolution that is going on, and it's now. So everybody should see and read the handwriting on the wall and vote Peter Obi of Labour Party for us to have a change. How can you be talking about Tinubu? You have been in the second day, you say he did that in Lagos, and yet he has the whole assets of Lagos State, his family. How can you talk about Atiku, who have been there as a custom officer? He told us a story in his interview that when he was a custom officer, he bought 5 vehicles from CFO and then was going through Cotonou and all that, buying something. That was how he started making his money. He does not have a moral standing that when somebody is a custom officer, you know, because even with the custom officer with the ID card, you have been carrying contraband from Cotonou to Lagos on embedded. Nobody disturbs you, and so you made your money. So don't tell us that story. So, and these guys are old people. They have been recycled. Peter Obi came out from governorship and he has a kind of character and a record, and now God has thrown him into the ring. So this is why I said everybody should see that we are now coming up, and the youths are all gearing towards that. That's why you have the last registration is about 12 billion, and 8 million is about the youths. There are those who have their PVCs who are going to collect their PVC. The majority of them, 65% of the voters here are youths. They are coming out. Thank you, sir.
I was about to come to that place before you get in there. So in the issue of preparation, sir, do you believe that the citizens that are on the Obi-dent movement, because this is where you just made reference to the next question I was supposed to be asking you. Do you think that the people that are in this Obi-dent movement, did you think most of them got their PVC registration with the INEC exercise that just ended last month 31st? Because the statistics of INEC with the majority of registered voters with INEC, which was 12 million registration for both online and physical platform, with the 89 million that was on ground in 2019. The voters were added together and they were all together 969.303 million registered voters under INEC, which we know that INEC is still going to do their figure of posing of business rule to figure out those double registration and those ones that have or traction on the registration with no complete details and all of that. What do you think? What is your take on that? Do you think everybody that are clamoring for this movement were opportune to get their voters card during the INEC registration process, sir?
Well, sir, thank you very much, Donald. The thing is that looking at the whole thing, like you saw, there was surge for people who had developed apathy and they never registered before now. And if you talk about IPO, which I said no election, whatever, but you could see that, like we earlier told you sometime last year, and so somebody asked me on the radio station, I said, if you give the president, it will calm down nerves, and agitation will reduce drastically in the East. If you saw the wind of what is going on now, the kidnapping you are seeing in the East now is only by Fulani herdsmen. In fact, my cousin from Abuja to Lopanta to Zuakole was kidnapped last Tuesday. We had to get, when they were asking about 20 million, we had to ask a Fulani, got a Fulani to be interpreted to the kidnapper in Lopanta before we were able to pay 3 million. And the young man was released. That was two days ago. So the rest evidence you are seeing in the East now is no longer like Biafra, like IPO. Everywhere is calm down. They're all watching, looking for 7 months and are coming from now. And that's what we told you earlier, that the 2023 presidency is a litmus test to the continued existence, continued unity of Nigeria in diversity. If anything is
I think we lost the Reverend Obioha there. I think he's having a technical challenge. And like I said before, this upcoming 2023 presidential election, the citizens has to be prepared. And why I'm saying this is because if you own a company and
Okay,
you
now
want
they are
that
going to
company,
vote. Hello,
yeah, can you hear me now?
I'm hearing you.
Okay, sir. The network was intercepting your conversation, so please you can
Are
continue,
you
sir.
hearing? Yes, because there was a call that was coming in. So I'm sorry. So
Okay.
all I'm saying is that the 50 something million of people that never voted the last time are here okay now. They are all going to come out. The 12 other million are going to come out. They didn't succeed in registering people because people are the developer party. And by the short time they gave, even the INEC is not the cost of INEC. INEC had from June last year till now, people were not careful to begin to do this thing, and they didn't register. But now there's such, everybody will not be captured. But I'm telling you now that now those that are registered are going to come out to the polling unit. Not only coming to the polling unit, when they keep us saying level as no agent, they are not structured. The people are the structure. They will remain in the election booths until votes are transmitted, every one of us. So it's going to work. People are going to come. And those people who are working now are not going to vote in the old soldiers or these recycled people. They're all tired of. We're all tired of. There's no way they can argue it out. There's no way PDP or Atiku or Tinubu can argue out that at this 21st century, we'll now have an analog president. No, we want a digital president by age and by everything, by every reason. That's what we're going to go for. And that's why the whole youths are doing
Yeah.
something. People are doing a number of things now. Hello?
Yeah. Thank you so much. You raised some point there, and I will be going on. I will be asking you some few questions regarding the points you just raised now. And before I ask you that question, I will quickly want to go on a short commercial on the Obi-dent movement. And when we come back, that question will be thrown at you, sir, so that you can, because the purpose of this interview is for us to educate those that are still standing on the fence to understand that, like, we have to get it right this time by electing the right leadership that will pioneer the affairs of this country. Not just electing anyone, but someone with good character, integrity, and someone with
Yes.
vision to move the management of this nation into the next level. As we come back from this commercial, I'll be throwing this question to you so you can elaborate more on it, sir.
Thank you very
Thank you
much,
so
sir.
much.
I'm here
Yeah.
waiting. God bless.
Yeah, thank you, viewers, for staying tuned. And we still have Reverend Ikechukwu Christopher Obioho. I think we are having some network challenges. And, sir, I want you to quickly talk about, when we talk about the people that registered with INEC, we'll be looking at the 10 key states and the 10 and the 5 highest states, because we all know that there are states in Nigeria that have the highest population in Nigeria. And as at that, we'll be looking at 5 states, these 5 key states that got the highest registration during the last process ended voters registration with the INEC. So we are looking at Lagos State, which is the lead, followed by Kano, Delta State, Kaduna, and River as well. With the prospect of figure with INEC, the record, how do you think the position of the Labour Party is? Because this 5 state, that has the highest capacity of voters registration belongs to the ruling party, the APC, and the People Democratic Party of the PDP. How do you think the Labour Party is going to strive all through this state that belongs to this political party, like we all know.
Thank you, my brother. Let me emphasize again to truism that the election of 2023 presidency is not going to be counted on party basis. It is individualistic. It is the character of the individual that is coming up. And all these places you mentioned, Lagos and so on, tell me why you think that people were being stoned when they went to Lagos and they were trying to do their registration, PVC registration. They planned it that all the Igbos, all the Southeasterners and so on would not register. What do you think? And you talk about Kaduna, you talk about, I want to also repeat again, in every village, every hamlet, in the whole country, no matter how remotest, if you don't see an Igbo man there, then know that that place is not in existence. Run away from there. There is danger. That has been the axiom and the feeling of people in Nigeria, and it's a truism. So if you're talking about population in Lagos, you're talking about population in the rivers, you're talking about PDP, these are not there being counted. I tell you, as we do this advocacy and we're moving on every day, I've seen people, we have flyers, we are sharing places. I mean, I went to APC meeting in Enugu yesterday, APC meeting. They all collected the flyers and said, nah, don't worry, you know, say we have to be doing our meeting, so we'll be here. But when we come to presidency, it's going to be Obi-dent. That's what is going to happen. In the presidency, the kind of vote that people that Peter Obi will have as the presidential candidate will shock everybody. They'll be shocked. Some people will have stroke out of the result of what is going to happen. So you don't talk about PDP
I think
or APC because the whole of this thing is overwhelming. These states are talking about APC and PDP. No, during the presidency, they're going to turn it to Peter Obi. It's not a matter about Labour Party, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. And in the course of our last program, there was a vital discussion that was raised, and I could scroll through the comments of my viewers, what they were all saying. And in a large range, sir, I would want to bring this question to you because, like I said on this program initially at the beginning, most people are still standing on the fence. Like the candidate of Mr. Peter Obi will come out and say, don't attack anybody. But like we all know, if you want to sell a product, you must sell your brand to convince people to want to buy into your brand, into your idea, and into what you are trying to sell to them. Like we all know, some persons are still standing on the fence, like you just made mention now. They are still indecisive on what to do, on where to go, on what decision to make. So in our last discussion last time, a vital topic was raised, a very delicate one, which I believe that they were saying that how is Mr. Obi is going to govern the state if he eventually wins the presidency election when he has no senatorial seat, when he has no governorship seat in his political party. Can you please elaborate little on that, because we are trying to wrap up this episode so that I'll ask one or two more questions, then we'll call it a day.
But please, my brother and listeners, you've been seeing the issues and the science is so imminent that a number of things are happening. But if we can go back, Peter Obi was the Abga governor in Abia, in Anambra State. And the majority of the House of Assembly were PDP of the House of Assembly. And he governed well and did all those kind of improvements. We're not also saying he's going to do, because the president is a very last thing. But I tell you, as you move on, Peter Obi came into Labour Party on the 30th of May. And you see the whole thing, the whole noise being made everywhere. People individually contributing their money and doing a number of things. So, and there are a lot of things. I've seen people who are now going from other political parties like PDP and so on, contesting under Labour Party. I assure you, let's not think about it. There are still many days we are going to have this campaigns and so on. There will be a lot of National House of Reps members and senators, even governors, are going to switch over to Labour Party. Those, especially those governors that are finishing their tenure, apart from those that have their tickets now. It is going to happen that way. So I'm telling you, the National Assembly, the chickens are not yet out to roast. We are going to have House of Rep members, House of Assembly members, and senators in the presidency. So let's not jump the gun yet. And in your closing, like I'm telling you, this advocacy that I've been doing, if you permit me, because this is an opportunity, we have Zoom meetings and so on. Individuals can also, because we're CFOP 2023 for P2B, individuals can call or send a phone or text to 0812 3406 908. I repeat, 0812 3406 908. They will be in the pool of what we are doing. The radio programs we hold every week. The last 3 weeks there, I was in Urban Radio with P2B live. Myself and P2B and a few other people with all the crowd. We were in the studio. So we're moving on. If you see the crowd, it's really very shocking. And that is it. So let's not talk about that. Let's not be afraid. Let's not be thinking of what will happen. Because P2B is going to have members of the National Assembly for the Labour Party. And governors too.
Thank you so much. With that point you've just raised, I could still remember when Saraki was having issue with his political party. He has to decamp from his political party to the other political party. So with that, I have a strong conviction that as time goes on, the Labour Party will produce a lot of candidates from all these senatorial seats and governorship and so on to manage the affair of this nation. In one word, in 2 minutes, sir, because we'll be calling this program a day because we've gone a little bit far of the time. What will you say to those people that are seeking for restructuring and the people that are talking about the fraudulent 1999 constitution? Because these are part of the issues that are bringing agitation in different regions of Nigeria. Do you have 1 or 2 words you want to say to these people? Because like we said, these people are still right on the corner of the fence, being indecisive on what ground they should be taking at this moment.
Our constitution is a default. Every reasonable person in this country knows that. And we're clamoring for years now, even in the present time, that the constitution should be changed. But this government that came in and promised a number of things, and first of all, they jettisoned the 2014 National Conference that was well agreed by 490 wise men. We would have had a wonderful thing, state police and so on and so forth, resource control of what you have, and they jettisoned it for 7 years. They promised of restructuring. Nothing is happening. They came in to begin to interpret of what restructuring meant. So everybody is talking about restructuring, and that is the reason until this country is fully restructured, until our constitution is well written, that was written there in 1999, it's not we. It must be corrected. But all I was saying to everybody now is that pick your PVCs. Because when you are going to the toilet, like my people will say, you go with 2 toilet roll. So if you clean up and there's still something coming in your anus, you use another toilet roll and continue. So so what we're saying is that we have been moving and talking about constitutional reform, talking about restructuring. These governments have not been able to give it to us. Is it terrible that when we were in AD together, we promised that when he came, he separated from our party and pursued a different thing as the Lagos State governor? Now he's in the presidency. He's been in the PMPC. They're interpreting what restructuring means through federalism. I'm saying that until you have a president that has a political will, like P2B has, from his antecedents, from character inherent to him, there's going to be, immediately he comes in, there's going to be, where there's a will, there is a way. If he comes in, the immediate thing that will be done is this restructuring. It must be put in place. If you don't want to do restructuring in terms of bringing a lot of people who will know that the country was wrongly delineated by the military rule and so on, they backanized this country and gave more federal constituencies and so on to the north. That anytime they pride themselves that nothing can happen in the National Assembly. I tell you, by executive bill and so on to the National Assembly, and what is going to happen by the youths coming in, by those that know what's supposed to be done, there is going to be a bill, or the worst of it, 2014 National Conference report will be dusted and brought into the limelight. I will begin to use it. There's nothing, this country cannot move forward unless there's a constitutional review, unless there's a restructuring, unless there's true federalism. The state police, resource control of what you have. If you don't do that, it's neither, we're neither here or there. But P2B has the political will to do that. They have said it. There's going to be restructuring. So let's go in and get our PVCs. Let's go in and vote. And let our vote count. Our vote is going to count now by beavers. But stay there until the result is declared. And victory will be that of ours. And Nigeria will change to a better Nigeria. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much,
I mentioned again. I
Reverend
mentioned again. Sorry,
Ikechukwu.
sir. Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you
sir.
so much. I don't know if you have one or two words you want to say because I think I interrupted you when you wanted to say something.
No,
You
no,
do you have something you want to say, sir?
no. I just want some people, everybody, anywhere you are, join this movement that we are doing. We started 3 years ago, and we permeated. We prophetically said it's going to happen. The third force and the third force is here. Join. There are many other groups now springing up, but we've been there for 3.5 years. So join this foremost advocacy group, which is called CFOP 2023 for P2P. And the phone number you call or text is 08123 406 908. I repeat, 08123406908. Text us. I will put you in a platform. Let's move together. Nigeria is going to be better for it. And we want to thank you. Enough is enough for what you are doing. God will bless you for standing in the gap. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Reverend Ikechukwu Christopher JP, who is the national coordinator for the presidency zoning to Southeast. I appreciate you, sir, for joining us on the program today. And as you all heard, thank you so much, sir. And we look forward to have you more in our program. Have a nice
I'm
day,
ready
sir,
for
and
you.
have a blessed weekend.
I'm ready
Thank
for
you
you.
so
Call me any day. I'll be available. That's my job.
thank
247.
you so
Thank you, sir.
thank you so much, sir. Have a blessed one, sir.
Thank you.
Like we all have heard from Reverend Christopher, uh, fellow Nigerians, please, I want you all to understand that this is a very significant time for Nigerians. And why I say this is a time for the country to move back to a place whereby we could call a place a home. Let's come out and do the needful. Let's come out and stand for a man with knowledge, because if we fail it this time, trust me, it's going to be difficult for us to have a nation. Let's come out and vote for somebody with knowledge and integrity, vision, courage to make decisions effectively. Someone with good communication skills that has the ability to unite the nation, that has a spirit of leadership, who has the treat to move this nation to the next place, because I believe it is the right of the citizens, because the last time I checked, power belongs to the people. And if as at that, you know that power belongs to you, come out and exercise your democratic right as a civil citizens of the nation. Please, viewers, if today is your first time of coming across this TV channel, please kindly do us a favor by subscribing, sharing, liking, and turning on your notification button, just in case we are coming live like this again to give you an exciting program like we just did today. We'll be coming up with a lot of guests that will be joining us on the studio, and we'll be talking more on all these issues arising in Nigeria, and most often the insecurity challenges that is before Nigeria. How is the next incoming president of Nigeria is going to handle the security system of Nigeria, the unemployment, the poverty, and all of that that is facing our people today. Please, viewers, as you subscribe to this TV channel, we will be glad and God will richly bless you. We all have a responsibility, and the responsibility that we have is to fix our nation. If we don't do it, nobody will do it for us. Thank you so much, viewers, for staying tuned. I'll see you again in our next episode. And before then, bye for now, and God bless you.